All right, everybody, buckle up, because today we are diving deep into the world of the nitrate reduction test.
A classic.
It's a test that sounds, honestly, kind of dull at first glance.
Yeah.
But trust me, once we unpack what's actually going on here, it's like a whole detective story unfolding at a microscopic level.
It's true. And it all revolves around how certain bacteria have this incredible ability to breathe without even needing oxygen.
It's like they have a secret backup air supply. But how do we even begin to figure that out?
Well, that's where our star of the show comes in. The nitrate reduction test.
Okay, so big picture first. What's the main goal of this test?
So basically, we're trying to figure out if certain bacteria are capable of substituting nitrate for oxygen in their respiration process.
So we're looking for those nitrate-loving bacteria, the ones that can thrive even in environments without oxygen.
Exactly. We call this anaerobic respiration, and it's more common than you might think.
Oh, I believe it. So how do we actually set up this test? What's our game plan here?
All right, so imagine this. We've got a test tube, right?
Okay, got it.
That's our little crime scene.
Love it.
Inside, we've got our bacteria hanging out, just doing their thing in this nutrient-rich broth.
It's like a buffet for bacteria.
Exactly. Now, this broth also contains nitrate. That's the potential oxygen substitute we talked about.
So we're giving our bacteria the option to dine on nitrate, if they're so inclined.
Precisely. Now comes the fun part.
The plot thickens.
We need evidence, right?
Of course, got to catch them in the act.
That's where our reagents come in. Sulfanilic acid and dimethyl alpha-naphthylamine.
Those are quite the mouthful.
Yeah, don't let the names scare you.
Okay.
Think of these reagents as our color-changing detectives.
Ooh, I like where this is going.
They're the ones that are going to tell us if our bacteria have been indulging in that nitrate buffet.
So if the broth changes color, we know something's up.
Exactly. If those bacteria have been using nitrate, the broth will turn a bright, telltale red.
Red means busted. We've got a nitrate-reducing bacteria on our hands.
You got it. But here's where it gets really interesting. What if the broth doesn't change color?
So no red, no nitrate reduction. Case closed, right?
Not so fast. It might mean our suspects are trying to hide their nitrate-munching activities.
Sneaky little things. So how do we outsmart them?
That's where our backup detective comes in. Zinc powder.
Zinc powder. Does it change colors too?
Zinc itself, no. But it can force a change, revealing the truth.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
So we add the zinc. If the broth still doesn't turn red after that,
Still no red. What does that tell us?
it means our bacteria are overachievers. They haven't just reduced the nitrate, they've gone a step further and broken it down completely to nitrogen gas.
Wow, so they're like master criminals covering their tracks. But wait, if they're making gas, how do we even know that's happening in the test tube?
Good question. Remember I mentioned a little upside-down tube called a Durham tube earlier?
Yeah, what about it?
That's our gas trap. If we see bubbles in there, we know our bacteria have been busy transforming that nitrate into harmless nitrogen gas.
So they're not just surviving, they're thriving and leaving no trace of nitrate behind. This is incredible. But hold on, what happens if we add the zinc and suddenly, bam, we get that red color change?
In that case, the plot thickens.
A twist.
A red color change after adding the zinc actually means our bacteria are off the hook for nitrate reduction.
Wait, really? I thought red always meant nitrate reduction.
Not in this case. Here, it means the zinc itself has done the reduction, revealing that the original nitrate was untouched by the bacteria.
Wow, this test is full of surprises. So just to recap, we've got red after the first step, meaning nitrate is definitely present. No change after zinc means full-on denitrification. And red after zinc means our bacteria haven't touched the nitrate.
You've got it. It's a three-part mystery, each outcome revealing something crucial about how these bacteria function.
This is fascinating stuff. Okay, so we've unpacked the how of the test, but why should we even care if bacteria can reduce nitrate or not? What's the real-world significance of all of this?
Oh, this is where it gets really interesting. Well, understanding nitrate reduction isn't just about, microbiology trivia,
Okay.
It actually has huge implications for the world around us.
This is where it gets really interesting, right?
Absolutely. Think about the nitrogen cycle, for example.
Yeah.
This is a fundamental process in nature, right? And guess what?
What?
Nitrate reduction plays a starring role. It affects everything from plant growth to soil fertility to even the air we breathe.
Wow, okay. So these microscopic bacteria are influencing things on such a large scale, I never would have made that connection.
It's incredible, isn't it? They're like these tiny little ecosystem engineers.
I love that. Tiny ecosystem engineers. I'm going to write that down.
And we even harness their power, in wastewater treatment.
Oh, interesting. How so?
So we actually use bacteria that can reduce nitrate to help remove those harmful nitrogen compounds from our water. It's all about protecting human health and the environment.
So these little guys are like pollution fighters. That is so cool.
That's one way to put it. And their talents don't stop there. We can even use their nitrate-reducing abilities to identify certain types of bacteria in medicine.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it actually helps us diagnose infections and make decisions about the right kind of treatment.
Okay, I'm officially blown away. This one test, it's like it unlocks this deeper understanding of the environment, of healthcare, even the food we eat.
It really highlights how interconnected everything is, even down to the microscopic level.
This deep dive has been so eye-opening. It's amazing how much we can learn from just a test tube and some color-changing reagents. Okay, so before we wrap up, I'm curious, is there anything else about this test or these bacteria that we haven't even touched on yet?
Well, that's the thing about science, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's always more to uncover. Like what we've talked about today, it's a great foundation, but it sort of sparks further questions too, like could there be even more sensitive or efficient ways to detect these processes?
Oh, that's a great question.
And how can we further harness the power of nitrate reduction for other applications, like bioremediation or sustainable technologies?
Wow, those are some seriously cool questions.
It really makes you think, doesn't it?
It does. Like we've zoomed out now. We went from this one little test tube to seeing the bigger picture of how these bacteria impact, well, everything.
Right. And the more we understand these processes, the more possibilities open up. Think about bioremediation, for example.
Using bacteria to clean up pollution, right?
Exactly. Imagine harnessing their nitrate-reducing superpowers to remove harmful stuff from the environment.
That's incredible. So instead of harsh chemicals, we could use these microscopic helpers to clean up our messes.
Precisely. Working with nature, not against it. And who knows what other applications are out there just waiting to be discovered.
I know. It's pretty exciting. This whole deep dive has really highlighted how something as tiny as a bacteria can have a huge impact.
Absolutely. They're like the unsung heroes of our planet, quietly working away. And by understanding them better, well, we gain insights into everything, from the air we breathe to, the health of our ecosystems.
This has been an incredible journey, wouldn't you say? I mean, we started with decoding this one test, the nitrate reduction test, and look where we ended up.
It just goes to show there's always something new to learn, even about the tiniest organisms on Earth.
Couldn't agree more. And a huge thank you to you, dear listener, for joining us on this incredible deep dive into the world of the nitrate reduction test. We've had a blast. Until next time, stay curious.